So, hi everyone, I'm Ritik, and today we are talking about something very interesting and close to us that is building a CNCG from scratch. So, we'll get down in what is CNCG and what is Cloud Native Hooghly a bit later. But to get started, who are we? So, we are the organizers of Cloud Native Hooghly. It's obvious, right? Because we are talking about Cloud Native Hooghly right now. And also, we are CNCF ambassadors. So that is common between us, but we have a lot more things to share. So this is me. This is from this January when I was below the Northern Lights, and I work as a platform advocate at Loft Labs. I'm a Google Venkat scholar as well. That was a scholarship which I got 2 years back. It is like top 10 people in the whole India who got a scholarship from Google. And I got a couple of certifications as well, like CK, KCNM, and all those. And if you want to connect with me, this is my socials. It's Ritik here across everything. So if you want to connect with me on Twitter, LinkedIn, or somewhere else, that's my socials. Giving the stage to Ronit. So
Yep. Thanks, Ritik. Thanks, Mithil. So, hello, guys. This is Ronan. And yeah, as he said, that we have something common. That is, we are both CNC ambassadors. We are both organizers of Cloud Native Weekly. And I'm like obviously into DevOps engineering. And obviously, yeah, the one I forgot to mention. This picture is from Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco. I was there a week ago. So yeah, and like got a few certifications like ACNA. Have been Google Summer of Code mentor for DBP, the organization which is based out of Germany. And if you want to follow more about my work, about my social presence, then definitely give it a shot. Ronit Billens across everything apart from LinkedIn. You can get it by Ronit Banerjee. So that's pretty much about myself. And yeah, so initially would love to discuss do you actually know about CNCG? What is CNCG? So if anyone is there to answer the private chat, then they're mostly welcome. But if not, then we can proceed with the full form. That is actually Cloud Native Computing Groups, right? That's it. If I'm not wrong. Yeah, it is. So, yay. Cloud native computing groups fostering local cloud native communities. So, the thing is that CNCF is a huge organization, right? So, it's not possible for CNCF to reach every corner of the world individually. So, what they do is that they provide us support from their side in form of chapters and like enthusiasts like us and people who are already in the ecosystem are actually creating these chapters, driving this type of community initiatives so that people, like-minded people, students, and also some working professionals can come at a place and discuss about cloud native stuff, right? And we actually support events, meetups, initiatives aligned with the cloud native technologies, and we also collaborate with them. And the thing is that we are just not limited to cloud native. We also talk about more things that are actually relevant on the nowadays tech space. That's it. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So can you get that to the next slide? Ritik?
so
Yeah.
now what
So
is Cloud
yeah.
Native and CNCF?
Mhm.
So this is a KCD, and you might have heard about a lot about CNCF, a lot about cloud native, but just wanted to touch a bit on that as well, so that you have more context as we go forward. So, so whenever you heard cloud native, it's not always associated with CNCF. Cloud native is a scale level way by which you create microservice containers and where you can have interoperability between different clouds. So whenever you are building something, you don't need to depend on certain cloud providers. And the benefit is a couple of them. First is ecosystem. So whenever you're not depending on certain specific providers or certain specific things, you can have a diverse ecosystem. Whatever you're building on a certain cloud, you can migrate that to another cloud. And whatever you are building can be used by another people as well, another organizations. So this was not a very common thing previously before the cloud native things came in. So it was like whenever you are using a certain VM or something like that, it was a lot of lock-ins. But when CNCF came up and when Kubernetes came in, so it created a platform over the cloud, like an operating system for the cloud, where you can have tools, your software, and your developers build something that can be migrated to different clouds and can be served from different clouds. So that was the story of cloud native. But CNCF comes into the picture to make sure everyone involved in the cloud is non-competitive and working towards the similar goal of providing better experience for all the developers and providing governance so that everyone is working towards a positive change in the community. So CNC provides a lot of things. Like it's a big non-profit organization under the Linux Foundation. So it provides a lot of things, like it makes sure the technical oversight is there. So technologies are moving in a way which is helpful for the community and not just a specific company. It is bringing people closer. Right now, we are situated in India and we are giving a talk in a virtual conference in Bangladesh. So that is the thing. So it is bringing people close. And lastly, the most important thing which is revolving around is the community. So everyone is here for the community, and CNCF knows that. So CNCF supports meetups, events like KCD, and very bigger events like Cube Day and KubeCon India. So there are big KubeCons coming, one in November in Salt Lake City, and one in December in New Delhi in India, and one went by in Paris. So there are a lot of events being covered across the globe. The goal is a simple goal. So more people come together and share their learnings, share how they are coming together, share what they are doing. So more companies can benefit through that. More companies can save cost, and more companies can provide value both to the consumers and the users. So where is Hooghly? Like, so if you see, this is a global map. You can see India, you can see Bangladesh beside it. Hooghly is a small place beside Kolkata, and our chapter is situated there. And in the last year, a question was there: why is a community required, or when is a community required? Before we build everything, which we will talk about today. So a community is required for a lot of reasons, and here are a couple of them. So when you want to share knowledge and when you want to benefit through the knowledge of other speakers and other attendees, when you are doing something, a community comes in a good picture to help you do that. But apart from that, it also serves as a networking opportunity here. So you can network with people who are doing things and also network with talent. So if I'm working somewhere and I need interns, the community can be a good place to find people who are actually interested in. I don't need to go through LinkedIn, Google, and all those to such people who are interested in. If people are joining in, coming in, so I know they are interested in. Also, it acts as a source for me to give back to the people by sharing my knowledge and all the things. Last is support system. So when we are in university or when we are in school, we see a lot of flashy things happening. We see a lot of new technologies coming in. We see a lot of new technologies growing fast. But the problem is, how can we be a part of it? Like there is so much things happening, but it's so problematic because we don't know what to do. So communities come as a good place where we can find mentors who will help us both in personal and professional growth. They have walked the path which we want to walk, so they have that experience both in technical and non-technical POV, where they can instruct us on what places to focus on, as well as what things we should learn or what things should implement. Like for example, one of the best advice I got was to focus on a bit far-sightedness. So if you're earning some money doing some specific jobs, that might be a good approach. But if you focus on the future, focus on the skills you can gain, that can give you better returns in the future. So those advice and those networking opportunities come when you are in a similar place, and this is where community comes in. But one of the most important things when what people forget when focusing on community focusing on building a community is something called shared struggles. So imagine you are in a community and you have a shared problem, a problem to find a job or problem to find ways to learn more. It will connect you more than a problem where you are just doing to do things. Like a problem where you are trying to find a solution to all of your situation is a better way to build a community than in comparison to just building a community. For us, we wanted to share this story and help people because there was nothing cloud native in Kolkata back then or the bigger region. So that struggle me and Ronald understood, and we wanted to share and bring people together. And that is helpful because when you are building and bringing people together through a shared struggle POV, then people want to stick together because they want to solve the struggle. It's not just people are coming in, getting some value, getting some swags, and going back. They have the struggle which is bigger than swags, values, and all those things. So they come together, and there is a unity which helps you to bring more people together and focus on long term relationships. For in our local community, there were a lot of speakers who came in to share about their learnings and everything. And a lot of students are still in contact with them because they understand the importance of going through that path. And lastly, when you are having a shared struggle, you can see everyone is growing together when you are solving the struggle. It is not like the organizers are getting more benefits or like that. So there is no like those problems. It's like everyone is learning something new. Everyone is growing together and everyone is trying to solve the problem, but they want more understanding of cloud native and they want more flexibility and more resilience towards learning new things, which are very hard. Cloud native is a hard thing. It comes after you have understood cloud, understood some tools, fundamentals, have some experience in development, because you need to build, you need to deploy the things through cloud native. Building is one part, deploying is another part. So the cloud native part is very helpful over there. But again, you need people suffering through that same struggles to bring them together. So that is one of the most important learnings that I have. Whenever you are building a community, shared struggle is a key factor. But we will talk about more struggles later on. So coming back to how everything started in China. So Rohit can talk more about it.
Yep. Yeah. It's a very interesting story. So the thing is that me and Ritik met in India, but he never remembers that thing. Okay. And surprisingly, like I do, because definitely it's Ritik. So the thing is that we went to China for KubeCon. We both were on scholarship, DanCon scholarship, and after reaching China, like it was our first time like seeing each other, knowing that yeah, this is Ronit and this is Ritik. Okay, so and that very moment we connected on this idea, very idea of creating this particular chapter, and like before we met, I already put up like there's some form kind of thing where we need to request for a chapter. So before going to KubeCon, I already applied for this chapter, and I asked Ritik if he wants to hop in because he has created a lot of impact in the cloud native ecosystem throughout Kolkata and India as well. So he instantly connected with my like problem statement, and we were good to go basically. And yeah, that's how actually cloud native Hooghly happened. Starting from China, it's like chutney chop to China. That's how we call it. So yeah, things like this. So yeah, after that we had a couple of events. We had some in-person events. We had some online events. We had a small like DevOps bootcamp as well, where we were talking about networking. We were talking about Linux, talking about Kubernetes basics, Docker basics, etc., etc. So it was also something which we came up with, and also we were planning to extend it like some deep dives on those particular topics, maybe some other cloud native tools as well. So we have like planned it but haven't executed it yet. So these are on like the process, the pipeline. And the one we are actually having right now is a hackathon which we are conducting. offline hackathon. So this is something new. I don't think that any cloud native chapter has ever done it, which is pretty new concept for some cloud native chapter. But yeah, let's try it out. We are pretty much sure that we will do it well, but fingers crossed. Yeah. So the next thing that is actually very important, that is volunteers. Without volunteers, we are nothing. So me and Ritik, it's very difficult for us to manage everything, right? So we have very talented volunteers on the team, and it's not just the volunteers; they are actually like a family right now. They know every single problems, how like we deal with it, what are the like sponsorship challenges, how we will manage the large scale offline events, how we will manage the food, logistics, blah blah blah, many things. Okay, and they actually help us a lot with those things. Kudos to them, a huge shout out to them that they exist. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been possible. Budgeting is primarily a key factor for any cloud native chapter, and we are lucky to have both the organizers as CNCF ambassadors, so we can have some monthly investments through which we fund our events, and also we have a couple of sponsors if we need. And we already talked about the team, and yeah, so core teams and the volunteers, yeah, that's it. Next, please. Yeah. So struggle. Basically, the first thing is that we were new. So, for example, I came from a cloud native background, but I never had a chance to like create a community by myself. So this was kind of something new. I was working on with different communities. I worked in different communities, but I have never led one. So this was fairly new, and I think most of the people who like belong to college or are students somehow, they know how college communities work. They are like a bit of closed environment thing. And for like cloud native chapters like this, it's a bit open. Like uh it's too much liberty for the first timers. Like, okay, you can do anything you want. So that's what I actually enjoyed. So yeah, but with great power comes great responsibility. So did we. And we had very limited exposure initially, so we had to create that brand value. The marketing team, the designing team did a wonderful job in that. Like any design, any memes you see under cloud native Hooghly's hood, like give it a thumbs up because they have done a wonderful job. And cloud native chapter was a very new concept to our local community. Like it was a bit difficult for them to grasp. Like it, they were like, what is cloud native? What is the difference between cloud and cloud native? Is cloud and cloud native the same thing? Then why native? Like there were many doubts. Okay, around this particular story, but finally we could crack it down, and the people are much aware. We are like almost having 1K members in our Discord server. Officially, the channel has like the community page has more than 700 members. Like it's a huge feat for us in in under a year. So we are really proud of our team, and Ritik as well. Like he has done a wonderful job. I helped him with whatever I could have. So yeah, and the best thing about our community is that we had people from very like different parts of India, not even India, different parts of world. Like for example, we recently had a meetup where there was a speaker who came literally from Germany, but obviously he wasn't here from Germany for this particular event. He had some other family commitment, but yeah, like he is there, right? So we could arrange his talk for that, and people were very happy to attend it. Like we had a speaker from Bangalore, we had speakers from different parts of India actually, and like from different like backgrounds. Like for example, someone is from the Kubernetes release team, someone is from developer advocacy team of some company, someone is from uh, like code development team. Like there were multiple avenues we actually focused on, and we kept it so like divided but integrated. People were very interested and keen to learn about cloud native. So after that, I would also touch upon the personal branding we did for the reach we have right now. Like the college communities had a different kind of exposure, which was kind of internal. But for example, if we talk about cloud native communities, it's a bit like a spread out thing, right? So what we did was we actually collaborated with multiple colleges for events. Like college, we took college venues so that college people can come and hop in into our programs. They can learn more about cloud native. Like we kept it for free, obviously, because people so that people can come up from different parts of India, West Bengal to join our event, right? And struggle number two was low engagement and low reach. So initially, what we did was we never had some engagement, right? We were trying to get some online sessions and all, but people were not very interested because they never knew what is cloud native. So I had that idea that we can do one thing, that is we can actually have the boot camp so that people are at least aware of what's actually happening. So now they have the access to the boot camp. Whenever someone comes up and says, Ronit, how can I get started? I just refer to them by the link. Go to YouTube and search for Kate Smashers boot camp, and you are good to go. So this is how we created this pipeline, and people can just like loop in with us, right? And this is how we actually like shortened the gap between the community and the people who are actually keen to learn about cloud native and open source. And the second thing was reach, which was like the marketing and all, and which was actually covered after the boot camps by having offline events in colleges and in paid venues as well. So like offline meetups really help to like bridge that gap. Okay, so like we are also talking about the solutions, right? So getting into the CNCF ambassadorship program really helps. So how CNCF ambassadorship helps? They help you with logistics. They help you with the funds. They help you with the branding. If some chapter has CNCF ambassadors as organizers, they have a different weightage, right? It's very convenient for us to arrange everything. If we want some swags, we can actually have it because we get some like when we get onboarded, so we can distribute it among the students or among the members of the community so that they can be like a bit uplifted and they're more other boosted. So providing value to the audience, definitely this is one of the key factors behind everything. Like this is the main reason why we drive community events, right? So doesn't matter which community does it, but at the end of the day, the purpose is to uplift the community's ecosystem, uplift the tech ecosystem of the particular local chapter. Also, like to touch upon many things, like for example, Ritik goes to many foreign events, right? So what he does is that he learns something from there that, and like not all people are getting those like opportunities, right? Even if there are like possibilities to go there and attend those events, like not everyone is able to get into the scholarship program because the scholarship program is limited to very few people, and the cream layer gets that. So that then will the people who are actually in the local chapters will get nothing? No, that can't happen. So what we do is that we share the knowledge we get from those conferences. We share the swags, we share the insights, we share the referrals. In fact, some people from our community got into big four through referrals. Like it's a very big deal. And in fact, I would also mention that the person was not even from tech team of our community. He was in the design team, but still he got into a big four. So it was a really good really big achievement for me. It felt like a personal achievement, but I don't know if Ritik knows about it, but we will talk about it later anyways. So that's the thing. Getting into the CNCF ambassadorship, sharing about the program, helping network with speakers, and add a community partner. Like for example, if we have a college, right? Colleges have many communities. So what we do is that we collab with them. We have some events with them together. We onboard people from those communities, and like this is how people are getting added up in the community. So this is the thing. Anything else to touch upon? thing? I don't think so. Okay. So struggle three is that community, but without community partners. So yeah, like for example, if you're starting a new community, the challenge is that you won't be able to reach out to many people at a time. So why not like taking the advantage of the existing communities? Like, network with people who are the organizers of like other communities who have the power to actually escalate your like posters or maybe some initiative or drive or boot camp or anything like that, maybe hackathon, anything like that to the other communities so that they can come up and participate, right? So we have focused a lot on the community partnerships as well. For example, we have like the best of the best communities all over India so that they can actually send people from their community to our community and we can do collaboration. Like also, it is not just a one-way thing, it's also vice versa thing. Like for example, something good happens in that particular community whom we are collaborating with. So we are also encouraging people from our community to hey, just participate. Why sitting idle? So this is how it works, right? The end result should be to like get the most out of it. Doesn't matter which community does it. So yeah, and the solutions are pretty much simple. I have already discussed it. Community partner selection, community partners outreach, and these are the things. And I think the later parts will be discussed upon by Ritik. So Ritik, go
So
ahead.
now, thanks, Ronit. Now the problem is budget. So you need budget for swag, food, planning, logistics, right? How to get those? It's very simple. Like for us, CNCF ambassador was there. But again, you can reach out to companies, you can reach out to local community leaders as well, because local community leaders know where are the people who are interested to sponsor small meetups. My company, for example, Loft Labs, we also sponsor events across India, and we are trying to expand that because we want to contribute more to the community because we understand the importance of community. So reaching out to people like your local community leaders and another companies who are very active in those places is very helpful. But next is uh, how can we make sure the attendance, the engagement, and the people are repeating? We just don't want them to have a one-time experience, right? We want them to come back again and again. And the the solution is very simple, like building a community inside a community, building a forum, like using Discord or somewhere where people can come in, they can have some feedback, they can share what things went wrong, what things went good, so that can help us to improve the decision making as we grow. But again, keeping people updated through social media, like whenever we are doing something, like we are posting about our speakers, we are posting about the attendees, we are posting about the quiz, the swags, the venue, the people, the spotlights, we want them to be updated, right? Both in our Discord, both in our socials, because with that more people join in, more people are interested, and more people are excited as well. So this is a very simple way, like to make sure everyone is aware about what is happening. But moving forward, if you want to start your own community, what are the things we can recommend? First is reaching out to anyone you want. Provide context, provide why you are reaching out, provide what things you want from them. Don't just reach out like, hey, I'm building a community, can you help? Just tell, hey, I'm building a cloud native community or some XYZ community. We are 50 people at start, but we don't know whom should we reach out for speaking so that we can provide more value. Be specific when you reach out, but reach out to people who are there because they can help you. Like for me, when I reached out to a person, they just connected me with a friend, and it was so simple. They next is find the shared struggle. When there is a shared struggle, your community thrives. The Cloud Native Hooghly is here for more than a year right now. So if you have a shared struggle, that is simpler. And start off online. It's very okay to start an online community if offline isn't viable. Like this meetup is also happening online, but the impact it is creating is so good. Like people can go through YouTube and see the video. So it's completely okay if it's online because the end goal should be people should get value. And if you want more help, get into the programs like Cloud Native community groups because you can get more love, you can get more support, you can get an audience and a community who can help you do the things. So that is very helpful again. Lastly, if you want to just throw the stats out, we started last year from zero, but today we have around 726 plus members, 30 plus core teams, 6 plus events are done, 20 plus speakers, some are international, some are national in India from different states, few locals, and we are planning a hackathon. So if you see in a year, in a bit more than a year, we have achieved these numbers. And most of the people in our surrounding region knows there is a thriving cloud native Hooghly community. And if you want to like point on the reason is very simple. It is the people like those who are coming in together and helping us build one of the best communities in the region. This is a picture from our recent Kubernetes 10th birthday. So Kubernetes had a recent birthday, so we celebrated it. We booked a venue, we brought in a lot more people, and we did that. So it was awesome. And the floor is open for question and answers if you have any regarding community building, how to outreach, or anything if you have. Our socials were in the slides. Feel free to connect with us and would love to answer your questions.